Right into a couple of weeks of school. We're excited to have you back. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 12:28. And first up, we have Lauren right here. She's going to talk to us about the Student Union referendum.
All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? So I'm going to give a really brief presentation about the student union and what the vote is and all of that. And then what's really exciting is y'all are going to get to be the first group of students to see this video that was put together by the architecture firm that did the rendering. And it's a 3D fly-through of what the new union could look like. So it's really exciting. We just got that in less than an hour ago. So anyway, like Amy said, my name is Lauren Meyer. I am the program coordinator in the student union. I put on lots of different events around campus. So you may have seen me before, but here to talk about the student union referendum, which is an important thing for all of you, and something that you'll need to relay to your members, or we hope you will. So, okay, what is a referendum? A referendum basically is just a campus-wide vote on a mandatory fee. So, what we are going to, I am so tongue-tied right now. Basically, this referendum is a vote on February 3rd and 4th. To see if y'all would approve of a different student fee. Then that information goes to our administration, then the Board of Regents, and then the Texas State Legislature. This is how any fee approval works in the state of Texas. Why would we hold a referendum? Basically, the state of Texas wants to see that you approve a fee increase as students, provides effective feedback about whether you want a service or facility on campus. And then by law in the state of Texas, as a public institution, we cannot raise a fee more than 10% without having a campus-wide referendum. So, 4 basic reasons why we believe we really need a new student union. Number 1, space limitations. This facility was constructed, actually construction started in 1968, finished in 1970. We had 5,800 students on campus at the time. As you can imagine, we have a few more than that right now, about 15,000, and this space really hasn't changed much over that time. As you can see here on the chart, we are about smack dab middle of enrollment in the state, but comparatively to institutions that are even smaller than us, we have less space than they do. Of note on this, we have 75,000 square feet in this facility, but about 36,000 of that is actually usable space. The other bit is like hallways, bathrooms, mechanical spaces, kitchen, that sort of thing. Ancient and outdated building. This room is pretty obvious with that. Lovely mustard yellow partitions. Garrett can tell you all about the rainstorms they have down in CSD.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
I have to use buckets and worry that my computer won't get wet around.
Sometimes pipes burst, you know, it's what happens when you have an older facility like we do. Cost of repair and upgrade, basically, it was very expensive to renovate this building. These numbers are based on 2013, which is when we were still coming out of the recession, which means these numbers are even more right now because construction is more and more expensive the more we recover. If we were to repurpose the post office location, it'd be over $600,000. $400,000 just to renovate this space. And then just to comply with safety and ADA mandates, it's over $1 million. Those are only 3 things with this building. We know a lot more would need to go into it. So it would cost over $2 million just to do those things. Technology concerns. Who can get Wi-Fi in this building? Okay, I don't see any hands raised. Who can get service when you're back in CSD? No hand raised. Basically, we have done just about all we can with this current facility in terms of technology. It is really, really not compatible with things, and we've had to spend a whole lot of money to get it up to par with other facilities on campus. We have done this before, so let me kind of back up. Who was here in fall of 2012? Okay, so I have a handful of y'all. So this may seem a little bit familiar. In fall of 2012, we initiated this process, and we basically had a campus-wide vote. It did go through. We got to the state legislature level in 2013. Speeding through so I can get to the video. And the legislative climate was not good. We had a pretty conservative administration that said, hey, this doesn't look like it's going to go so great, we're going to hold back. And so we waited until we had a new chancellor in 2014, in which case she voiced her support for a new student union as one of the top campus priorities that she wanted to see within our first year. And so we have really great leadership that's behind this now, and we think it's a really great time to move forward with another vote. The reason we have to do another vote is because most of the students that were here in 2012 that voted on this are not here today. And so we want to make sure that it is still something that students want, and it's something that you're excited about. And yeah. So here's a tentative timeline for what this could look like. So the big red check mark is where the referendum is. That is in a week and a day. So you see there, this is tentative, but we would go through about a 12-month design phase, meaning we would meet with different campus entities, making sure we're going to get this right if we're going to undergo such a large-scale project. We do have to go out to bid twice, once for the architect and once for the contractor, just to make sure that we are getting the best deal, the best work, that sort of thing. It's a state requirement. And then we expect construction would take about 18 months, give or take when we start, if it's a rainy season, if it's not, if we have another Ice-Mageddon, if we don't, you know, all those things could affect it. But you would be looking at an open date at fall 2018. I know that that is not the most exciting thing to hear because I know most of you will be gone by that time. However, we're asking you to think about this as a legacy piece. Y'all are beneficiaries of fitness and recreation. How many of you, by show of hands, know that it used to be on the first floor of Jones Hall? Okay, so maybe a third of you. About 7 years ago, there was a campus-wide referendum for students to vote to raise their fees to build the new fitness center. So if you've ever been on the first floor of Jones Hall, you know how dark, cramped, and small that space is, and you contrast it with the new facility you have now, and it's a pretty stark contrast, at least in my opinion. And that's something that y'all didn't have any vote in, you didn't have any money towards, but you get to be the beneficiaries of. And so we would love it. You know, we'll put all our cards on the table. We'd love to see this happen, but it is up to you. You know, to think of this. Is this something you want to leave as your legacy at this institution? Okay, cool. Well, I'll show some renderings really quick, and then get to the fee information, and I'll show you the video. So, who's seen all this on social media or in your email? Okay, so a good number of you. This is what so first of all, we would be looking at renovating Hubbard Hall. It, by far on this campus, is the least used facility percentage-wise during the day. We'd be keeping some of its core functions like a ballroom. We would not touch Redbud Theater. That would stay nice and intact. It wouldn't be part of the renovation. But in terms of other buildings on this campus, it is, you know, something that would be more repurposing for student use. So this could be what the front of Hubbard Hall would look like. You'll notice that it keeps much of its traditional vibe. You still have the columns, you still have the really beautiful front, but it is kind of modernized, updated, that sort of thing. This would be what the expansion onto the back side of Hubbard could look like. Notice that with Hubbard right now, it doesn't go all the way out to Oakland. This would go out pretty much entirely to Oakland. A lot of natural light, a lot of outdoor seating, nice spacious area like that. This is an example of what an interior view could look like. Again, all of this is kind of conceptual. You saw that timeline earlier. There would be a 12-month official design process, but these are some big concepts that we could carry forward, especially if students like them. Okay, we're going to actually go through all of this. These are just some pictures that y'all can see later if you'd like. So on to the financials, the nitty-gritty. Okay, right now you pay $38 per person per semester in student union fee. That pretty much pays to keep the lights on in this building, to keep the air and the heat running, and to pay for 3 full-time staff members for it. With that, we cannot raise much money to keep it in savings because we are operating on a shoestring budget. So we do have to increase the student fee if you want to see a new student union on this campus. The way funding works with all of this is that there are only certain pots of money that you can go to build certain facilities. So it would be looking at both fundraising or development and raising a student fee. So the proposed increase, and this is what you will vote on, would be up to $150 per person per semester. So if you look at this, if you're an undergraduate student and you're taking 15 credit hours this spring, you are paying, without extra fees, you're paying about $3,800. This would raise that to about $3,900, which is just over a 2% increase. So again, we trust y'all, this is your money, this is your campus, but we do want you to see it kind of in perspective. With these numbers, it does look a little bit bigger, so when you look at the total overall bill, it is about $100 difference, or 2% difference. Okay, before I take questions, I'm going to show you our video, as promised. Okay, I don't see my house. Sorry, y'all. Oh. Oh wait, can we flip off the lights? Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, if you have any questions, Lauren and I will stick around afterwards. I know Garrett has a few things to cover.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren. my report, I do want to make an announcement, and it's also on the guest announcement. Through Student Health Services, there will be a Go Red for Women initiative that they do with the American Red Cross Association. And there's an opportunity for student organizations to get involved. The first one will be February 5th. There will be this huge picture that will be taken in fitness and rec. There's more information on the flyer by the table. And we're inviting all students to wear a red shirt and to come in and take the picture with us. And the organization that brings the most participants will win free t-shirts for their organization. And then also on February 11th, 18th, and 25th, we're asking that student organizations also bring out their members to join us in this walk, and then the org that brings the most members will receive an incentive. Okay? Thank you. And then on to my report, I just wanted to give you guys information about SGA elections, that they are, applications are currently out now, and you can find an application at twu.edu/student-government. If you're interested in being on this executive board next year, or being interested in being in campus activities board, Student Hall Association, or Student Senate, those are all branches of the SGA, or even interested in the SGA executive board. If you do have questions, please feel free to come and ask me afterwards, or one of us if you're interested in a position up here. And that's for me too. And the application deadline is February 6th. Thank you.
As you all know, the golf cart parade is held annually, and we're getting ready to prepare for it, so I just put it on here for the date purpose. The date is April 15th, and we don't have the theme just yet, but I want you all to go back to your organizations and ask them if they want to participate. We're looking for big participation this year, so just send that back to your org, and then we'll talk about it more throughout this semester.
All right, so I just have some final things to go over, and then we will wrap this up. Erica Barcelona, our wonderful treasurer who served on the executive board last semester, unfortunately had academic conflicts, so won't be serving on the executive board anymore. So if you have any treasurer-related questions or reimbursement questions, I can take those. With that, I wanted to go ahead and put this date out there because it's a big one for paperwork deadlines. If you are applying for reimbursement for this semester, the deadline for that is April 14th, that's a Tuesday. And April 14th is also the deadline for your charter renewal paperwork. So I'm going to be going over all of that in more detail. I just wanted you to get April 14th on your calendars for your organizations now, just to know that that is an important date so your organization can be in compliance with our office. A couple other things, the Cultural Connections Leadership Conference, who's been to CCLC before? Yay. So if you're interested in being on the planning committee, or if you have the folks in your organization that might be, I do have some applications here. Our application deadline is actually this coming Monday, a week from today at 5. So it's a pretty quick turnaround, but feel free to pick one up or ask me any questions you have about that application. Our Student Union Display Case Lottery, I sent out an email this morning about, we have 19 spaces to advertise your organization. That will be, the deadline to sign up for that via email, and your president should have gotten an email this morning, is going to be this Friday. And then we'll pick 19 organizations as part of the lottery to advertise for the semester. And then lastly, a lot of you got a flyer that talks about a leadership workshop series. I'm really excited to introduce a lot of new leadership initiatives this semester. This last Wednesday we had a lot of fun at the first one, so if you're interested or anyone in your organization for gaining leadership skills, they're free and there's no sign-up, so just join us on Wednesdays in 113. The next one is going to be Leadership for Innovation. That'll be in a couple days. And if you go to 3 out of the 4, so if you go to the remaining 3, you'll get a leadership certificate from the Center for Student Development for this semester.
What time
So
was it?
that is all I have. Oh, yes. Who?
Oh, I was asking what time it was. Is it 6 p.m.?
It's yeah, well, this next one on Wednesday is at 6 p.m., but the other ones are at 5. So it'll be, this one is just different because of scheduling, so it's 6 to 7:30. And then the next one's, the dates are on the flyer, but I can get you some. They're from 5 to 6:30.
Thank you.
Cool.
Any
Thank
more
you.
questions? Okay, if you guys have questions about the student union referendum, we have Cal and Lauren over there with that. Please ask questions if you do not know.
How do we get like an announcement for our student org to be announced at this meeting?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. Just like we did last semester, we'll be receiving them via email.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then our email, yeah.
Well, can I make an announcement? This is the first one. Can I just make an announcement? NAMI on campus, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, starting this Tuesday, is starting the first on-campus support group. It's a recovery support group for people living with mental illness. And it is in room 234 in the library. And it's going to be really great. So if you know anyone or if you think of someone in your student org would be interested, please send them our way. We're trained facilitators through NAMI, and so it's professional and but free and confidential, and it's going to be really great. So.
What time?
7 to 8:30.
Awesome, thank you. And if you guys do have questions about Student Government Association applications or elections, please feel free to ask me or one of the exec board members. And thank you. I will end this meeting at 12:39.